There are many more people here. Please ask a question of general interest. We'll do our best to answer it, and if we don't know the answer, or an appropriate answer, or we're totally stumped, we'll say that. And we're sorry to disappoint you, but we'll just do our best. So then, who would like to ask a question first? I don't know where the microphone is because we can't really see the audience. Looking out there, it's mostly dark with these lights. So, Nancy, is that you?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Nancy.
Connie, I want to ask, when we have these 3 requests, can we make a request for someone else?
Absolutely, and thank you. That's an excellent question. You can be a surrogate for another person. You can have questions. You mean questions in regard to the satsang aspect of it? No, do you mean when we're doing the requests for gazing and the requests of Baba? Yes, of course, right. Okay. Now this is the part where Bob would like us to answer questions, right, Bob? About life in general, Baba, his teachings. Is that right? Or the talk?
What would you like?
Oh, anything, whatever the Lord wants. So, Swami, we're happy to answer any questions anybody has about Baba, his teachings, or anything that was unclear in the talk, or anything that you'd like to have elaborated on briefly about anything that we said. Whatever would be helpful to you. So, if someone has a question or 2 or 3 about the talk, that would be fine. We're happy to answer them. Or about our path or past. Well, to a certain extent, yes.
Sairam, Connie.
Sairam.
I was just curious, has there been any change in your work and the intensity of it, or the type of it, when you compare what you did before Baba left his body and after? Is there any change, any intensity change or type change?
That is an excellent question. Yes. In March of 2010, my husband and I went to see Braco, who is a beautiful being from Croatia that does gazing all over the world. He sees 250,000 people a year. The Shukanadi readings and the Brigu readings had said of me 12 times, 6 times in Bangalore, 6 times in Bombay, that this being is a Mahapurusha yogi who has been with Buddha, with Jesus, with Rama, with Krishna, with Shirdi Sai, and with Shankara as one of his disciples, and will be with Satya Sai Baba, and will heal the multitudes all over the world with a look or a gaze, with a touch, and with her voice or a word. When we were standing in front of Braco, who glanced at us for a nanosecond, all of a sudden I felt as if I had been hit on the head with a baseball bat. I was seeing stars and said to Jim, that's it, that's what I'm supposed to do, that's it, that's the missing link. He said, what are you talking about? I said, what Braco doing? Well, what is he doing? He's standing up there. Yes, I'm supposed to be gazing at people. That's what the readings meant. And he said, well, so what next? I said, we have to leave this place right after he finishes. We have to go to Home Depot and we have to get a painter's platform. He said, why, pray tell? Because we do our matrix energetics at the Longmont Public Library once a month. We're supposed to start doing gazing there too. He said, you mean with matrix? Right, we'll do gazing in the first part, matrix in the second part, and if people have some kind of shift or clearing or healing, we'll know that's it. If nothing happens, we'll say, well, we were wrong on that one, and then we just won't do it anymore. So that's what we did. We went immediately to Home Depot. We got our little painter's platform. We dragged all of our friends over and said, we're going to do something really fun. You want to just try this out? We are going to try something called gazing, and we're just going to stand there and see if you feel anything. And by golly, they did. And then we did it on Skype. And then more and more and more people reported the most profound things. And we said, don't thank us, thank God. He's the doer, we're just the doorway. So on Good Friday, March of 2010, we added gazing, and many people who came to the library who were not Sai devotees ran over after the program was over and they said they didn't know we were Sai devotees. We do that as a Sai Center service project, and we call it a wellness seminar. So they said, we saw Sai Baba, the famous man in India. We saw Sai Baba with the red robe and the big hair. He was standing right beside you. We saw Mother Mary, and we saw Mother Teresa, and we saw angels. And I said, really? And so then they started to tell us of more and more and more beings that they were seeing. They said, yes, Mother Mary walked around. She touched everybody on the shoulder. And Sai Baba went around. He was blessing people. So from that moment on, and subsequently, when we began to do gazing on Skype video around the world, people would report that they saw big flashes of light. They saw Swami jumping out of my chest. One person said she saw Swami's face everywhere she looked for 24 hours. Other people said they felt like they got bonked on the head and had Shaktipat from a realized master. People that couldn't have babies suddenly were able to conceive. And people said that their tumors disappeared. Many, many things started to happen of a profound nature. So the ante jumped up. The intensity of the work jumped up. Our work got simpler, aside from the enormous amount of correspondence and phone work that we do with people to set this up. We became more and more still, more and more simple, and just sat there and do sit there day in and day out in front of our simple little computer in our prayer room, and people all over the world in large venues report the most profound healing shifts, clearings, illuminations by our beloved Lord. So yes, good question. There was a big shift. And since he left his body, then on April 24th, more and more people have reported his coming to their houses, that Connie was bilocating all over the world, visiting hospitals, talking to them, and so on. We have no recollection of that. That's just one of the ways in which he uses this body, and it's not my business. So things really bumped up, and we have a sensing that something else is coming. There are more downloadings of gifts of the Spirit that continue, and we began to look at the audiences on the computer, and then to know what they're thinking, what they need to hear, what the themes are, what the patterns are within the group. And no, we cannot tell you who your next boyfriend is and what his initials are. We're sorry. We're not a psychic. We're not a medium. We're not a channel. We know nothing. We do nothing. We are nothing. We just follow the lead of the Lord. And it's a very long answer, but that gives you a little bit of a feeling.
You are one of the heralds of the golden age.
You know, no more than anybody else. No. Within in 2002, I went to, for another interview with Swami and said, Lord, I just want to know the truth. No games, no jokes. Just tell me, when is the golden age starting? Just give me a year. Just tell me, when is it going to start? You know, people are always asking me, and I would just like to know the real truth. No tricks, no games. He said, the golden age will start when most of the people in the world live in peace in their hearts, and they love and serve all the people around them. That's when the golden age will start. So you start it. You live in love in your heart, and you be peaceful, and you set an example, and then other people will get an idea of an example. But I said, no, Swami, the year. He said, no, it's not like that. It's not going to be like that. And I realized I was asking the question as if a big spangled canopy was going to come floating down on all of us, and there would be trumpets, and we would know the golden age has started. It's not like that. Everything that happens in any field of endeavor happens through us, through our listening to Swami, through our obeying him, and through his working through us and providing the resources, the talent, the volunteers, for everything that he wants to take place in the world. He said there is nothing in the entire cosmos that happens that is not my will. Everything is my will. So even though it looks like the world is running amok now, that's how it's supposed to look before it flips over. And it changes through all of us, and the compilation, the aggregate of all of our high vibrations. We have to keep our mood up, our vibrations up, check in continually, stay in the heart, established in God consciousness from now on. Yes, we'll veer off. We correct ourselves. We have to train the mind continually to be happy. One more question, and then we'll start the 5-minute slideshow, and then we'll do gazing.
Actually, Connie, Dick and I have volunteered for Brazzo a number of times since June of 2010. And what I'd like to have from you, if you both, if you wish, is to say what comes of the gazing.
Everything, the essence of Baba's power, light, strength, and love is in every single person. All we have to do is be willing to allow the veils to lift so that our own innate love and light can extend and can ultimately shift other people in an energetic transmission of love that is unlimited. That's right. That's right. We can. Anyone can do it. We're not special. Our work is about empowering you to be all that you can be, and however that transpires and works out is not our business. Yes, I would say that's true. Oh, yes. Nancy, oh, okay. Thank you.
Zeke, do you want to start the slideshow? These are